whiskey lovers, and welcome to another one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings, again in the garden because it's a beautiful day. And if it's a beautiful day, I often return to that beautiful distillery that I love so much, Auchentoshan. And as you can see, over the years, Auchentoshan has bottled quite a few single casks from days long gone. I've got a couple of them here. A few of them were even bottled for the Belgian market exclusively. So obviously, the Toshan man has those in his collection. But what's interesting is these two, because both are cask 803. How is that possible? Well, the big difference is, on the one hand, we've got this Bourbon hogshead 803 that was distilled in 1966 and it matured for 31 long years, and then it was bottled at an ABV of 49.5%. Well, on the other hand, I've got here a sherry butt number 803 that was distilled in 73 and then bottled later after 31 years as well in 2004. This one is bottled at an ABV of 50.8%. So obviously both casks were maturing at the same time for almost 24 years, between 73 when this one was filled and 97 when this one was bottled, and both have the same cask number. But that is of course because Auchentoshan uses a separate numbering system for both Bourbon hogsheads and, on the other hand, sherry butts. So that's what we're going to try today. Now, it's like apples and pears, of course, because we are going to compare a Bourbon hogshead to a sherry butt. It's a completely different whiskey, but of course the basic is the same, the spirit is the same, the delicate Auchentoshan spirit is the same. So the big difference will be the wood influence on that delicate triple distilled spirit. I'm not going to open up those bottles yet. I've got beautiful samples here, and immediately a big difference occurs in your glass. Obviously that's the wood. The bourbon matured is a bright golden, while on the other hand the sherry matured is a dark amber to even almost mahogany. So they're going to be quite different. The ABVs are not that far apart. It's this one is 49.5, this one is 50.8. Both have matured for 31 years. So let's go. Here we go. Let's start with the bourbon one. Got a very rich nose with honey and malt. It's quite fruity actually. I've got some lime, some primarily apricots and prunes here. It's slightly floral as well. I get some nuts and some cedar wood, and even a whiff of mint. This is an excellent nose. You would think that after 31 years in a cask that the tannins would overpower the delicate nature of the spirit, but it hasn't. This has matured beautifully. Alright, the taste. It's very oily. It's almost creamy. And it's nicely spiced without a real bite, but still the spices are there. The malt and the combination of lime and oranges, they're very prominent on the palate. The sweetness is countered by dry oak a little bit, but still the oak ensures a feast on the palate here. It's wonderfully soft, and adding water would be a total waste in this time. It's very quaffable without water, so I'm not going to add any water. The finish. The finish is one to remember. It's lingering and soothing. You'll even detect a touch of smoke in the finish, which you normally do not get with a Toshan. Surely not the current range. But this one is slightly drying, but other than that, this is an utterly brilliant Auchentoshan. This is pretty amazing. Alright, this one scores big in my book. How about this one then? Nice viscosity, clings to the glass, looks pretty oily. Oh, this is fun. Oh my god. Oh yes, what a sweet, sweet deep nose. It's candied sugar, it's followed closely by raisins, dates, even some coffee liqueur, dark honey, old leather. There's barely any spices to speak of. This is very soft. There is some cinnamon, yes, but I got some fresh prunes, some dried mango. Oh, this is silky soft and grand. Even reminds me just a tiny bit of a rum. Oh, this is good. Completely different profile than the bourbon matured. Very soft, a little creamy. Reminds me of rum big time now. I get hints of maple syrup, some black tea, some dark fruit, a bit of citrus, but it's in the background. The spices are a bit louder now. I get some cinnamon, but also some cloves and some licorice and even some star anise. This is good. Some tobacco, but and it's slightly drying because of the wood, but there is this tremendous balance between the dark fruit on one hand and the oak on the other. The finish is long, it's warm and licorice. It's not just the sun in my face, but this is really warming the insides. I got cinnamon, get some blood oranges at the death. Wow, these two Auchentoshan are very different beasts. Both 31 years old, but the bourbon cask matured is rich in honey flavors and citrus, while on the other hand the sherry matured is almost syrupy. It's thick, it reminds me of a rum with dark fruits and candied sugar, and both are only mildly drying at the end. The oak casks have really allowed the triple distilled spirit from Auchentoshan to mature in a beautiful way. These two are mighty Auchentoshans, very different except in quality. These two are utterly brilliant. And that's it for this whiskey rambling. I'm going to enjoy my Toshan collection a bit more in the sun here, and I hope to see you again at one of Mark's whiskey ramblings real soon. Until then, may them all be with you. Bye bye.